Welcome back to Speedrun Ragnarok. This is Princess Madeline, and we are about to have a Fisherman's Tale with brought to you by Bahamut X. Bahamut X, introduce yourself. Introduce your run.
Hi, I'm Bahamut X. So this is Fisherman's Tale. It is, as you can see, a virtual reality game. I'm so excited to show this off because I know there isn't too much of VR speedrunning out there. So I'm hoping to kind of show the possibilities of VR speedrunning, at least with this is a puzzle game. So I hope I can show off the possibilities of VR speedrunning.
Tale. It is, as you can see, a virtual reality game. I'm so excited.
So should we get? Should I do a countdown, or do you want to do a countdown for me?
I'm hoping to kind of show the possibilities of speedrunning. At least
you probably better think if you did the countdown.
Yeah, I was just thinking that because there was a little bit of a delay. Okay, we're gonna start in 5, 4.
Should I do a countdown, or do you want to do a countdown for
2, 1, go. So, ready? This is Fisherman's Tale.
Okay, we're gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, say that already. This is Fisherman's Tale. It is a story about a father and son. The father is a fisherman, and the son was not a fisherman. He actually mines a lighthouse, and that caused friction between the two. And so you play this puppet, which was made by the lighthouse keeper, and so you kind of see what happened between them. And one main way we save time is, as you can see, it's dark. We try to do as many puzzles as we can ahead of time, because that'll help save time, either because there's little cutscenes and dialogues in between. And sometimes you can even skip over some of the dialogues as well. So it's just a prologue, kind of shows the mechanics. You can move around. I got these controllers here. I can actually press a button which extends them out so I can reach things a little bit farther.
Next, the fisherman would open wide his window to check the weather.
So I already did that thing. See, I already opened the window. The last part I have to wait for. So there's some things we can do ahead of time, but there's some things we have to wait. So there's one more part I gotta do. I gotta wait for a little figurine to appear here, and then we'll be at the end of the prologue.
Center of the room. A perfect yes. Good. Now the final touch. A tiny puppet of himself to put inside. There. Tired out from his routine, the fisherman will rest.
There isn't too much of these puzzles we have to do in the dark, but one way we help that is if I move my hand over an item, it highlights, which makes it a lot easier to be able to grab and use. So we'll be incorporating that at least in the first part of chapter 1.
Simple and snapped together, the puppet would follow his routine, brush his wooden teeth, dust his lucky shell, and work on his.
Sorry, it's a little dark because basically kind of rotating around the little model here because you're a puppet, but you don't realize you're a puppet yet. It's like, I got this little model and stuff. So.
Worlds within worlds, walls within walls, closing out the storm so it could never reach inside.
So there'll be different periods in the game where we can't do anything. So
we don't quite have donations yet.
If you have any donations, now's a good time to say any.
I do want to remind everyone that not the next run, but the run after that will be Celeste, and there is a bid war to determine the file name with Gaius at $125 versus Chai Kitty at $22, and a incentive goal to read wavedash.ppt, which is an absolute delight, but needs $272 before that'll be done. So get those in as soon as you can.
fisherman's puppet walk inside his model lighthouse with everything in its place. And he began his day the same way. Except this morning.
So the next chapter, and we're trying to take advantage of what I said before by moving our hand over, because we're trying to take off these boards as fast as we can.
Mon Dieu, at last, the smell of the
So
ocean.
at this point, your character's like,
But outside,
what? There's
not the sea. He couldn't
model
believe his
outside.
wooden eyes. Outside the room was another room, a replica room, and standing in it, a huge but very familiar figure of a fisherman. And he knew that if that huge
So I'm gonna wait one more
figure were
moment.
to turn,
Sometimes you just have to
its
wait.
face
As soon as,
would be
right
very
now you
familiar.
can't use it, but right
Secondly,
now I can pick it up.
it was all there inside the model, exactly every detail. But the tiny version of himself, it was moving. He was inside the model, he was outside the model.
Clicking on
and
the
just-
store will help
just
advance
who was
the
pulling all
next
the
part of the
strings?
dialogue.
Zut,
There we go.
the door was locked. He must have put the key somewhere.
I'll explain what
else
I'm doing here
in
once I
this
get to this next part.
Now, when was that? And then, my friends, the strangest thing happened. Inside this room where he knew every cranny and nook, an unfamiliar voice said,
Hey, you. Yes, you, the scruffy-looking puppet. Yeah, you with the strings. Over
The
here.
next part of this basically
On the
chapter
shelf.
is to get this guy to give my next key to go to the next part.
Why did you move the anchor? Why? Oh, why did you take
So
the
he's gonna basically ask, hey, I'm scared, but if you get me a captain's hat and a life preserver, then I might feel I have the courage to give you the key. So I did that ahead of time, and now we got some free time.
so he did not feel so
Um,
great.
So one thing I like to do, it's kind of fun, is you can already notice the main mechanic of this game is, we're there's a model, and we're in a model, and which is inside a model, which is inside of a model, and so we make things bigger and smaller, which then helps you progress the different different puzzles in the game. And you already saw me do a couple
Where
things.
is it?
If I interact in here, it'll then
The fisherman took it
change it out here. And so there was the anchor, which is small here, and I put it inside the cupboard there, and which had the captain's hat, and I put it here, make it smaller, so I can put it on the shell over here. So got a little more time here. It's kind of fun. We got time to kill. You can throw things, and make it smaller. And, pick it up. We can throw another one because it's fun. If I can catch it.
Well, of course, courageous
There we go.
Captain Crab,
So.
said the
And
fisherman.
that goes. I can't go make any smaller though. This is as small as I can make it, and
Now,
just get
where
some time.
would an everyday wooden puppet find a tiny life preserver?
And what's cool is if I extend my arms out, I can make the flicking a lot harder. Not that it's not hard though. So almost here. So as you can get out of a shell, then I can grab it, but kind of wait a little bit, wait for it to highlight. Put it here, grab the key,
That will do. All right.
and
Farewell.
we're done with that chapter.
I won't forget what you did for me. Your captain salutes you.
He would need to find his way up the tower in the darkness. And already he could.
All right, let's do this.
So you might have just heard like a couple dialogues, kind of one went over the other. That's one case where we can skip a piece of dialogue because it did the dialogue to go to the next chapter, but then kind of like, oh wait, there was another piece of dialogue, but oh, I don't have time. So between each chapter, there's a cutscene. You kind of see what's kind of going on. The dad is, like I said, a fisherman. He goes out to a fishing trip, and there's ominous clouds, and so you kind of see, as the game goes on, what the story is, what happened between the father and son. So we're on chapter 2. So we got more mechanics and making things bigger and smaller.
The fisherman had spent all
In
his
this
life
episode, then we go to the small model, we will take
as
this
big
back
as
off.
that.
Right now, this chapter is focused around this fish dude, and we got a few pipes to take care of because the fish is thirsty. So,
It was still alive.
got a small one here we're
This
gonna make
went
bigger.
against everything he had learned.
Notice
had
that
to get the
column
fish
there.
some
I'm trying to
water.
move slowly here, so apologize if I'm moving too fast. I'm gonna try to smooth it. So there's that column there. I can grab it in here.
Even if it is the biggest, richest, fishiest catch you've ever seen. And to all
Let's put
you
this in here.
lighthouse keepers out there, keep those brights on.
There
This
we go.
one's for you.
And since I put the small pipe in the sink, I can grab the bigger version here. And we'll put the rest of the pipe parts in here. Something I like to do is, you also notice like if you get close to it, it'll highlight. And so even if you like have it turned a little bit, as long as you can see it highlight, you can put the piece in. And now since we have the pipes fixed, we can give the poor
Success.
fish some water.
Too much success. Water flooded into the model. Quick, hold your breath. The water closed over him, and the memories came flooding back. The coolness, the darkness, the ocean tossing and turning him like a rag doll.
So okay, a little bit of ominous cutscene there.
But wait a minute, puppets can't drown. No,
So
a
now
bit
we
of
give
water wouldn't
the
stop
fish
the
some
fisherman.
water. Now he's pretty hungry. One thing you can do solving these puzzles is, you know, if you're playing this casually, you might think, I gotta solve puzzles in my main area, right? You actually don't need to. Something I could have done when I was solving the pipe puzzle,
It
I
seemed
could have
that
actually
I'd
put the small
forgotten to
version of the
fill
pipe
this stuff
inside the model here, and also would have counted. And I could actually do the same thing here. Playing the casually, I would make the fish bigger by putting it here and then grab it and
Do you
get
know
the fish
how
up
to
there.
reach the
But
top of
yeah,
the
I want to stay back
lighthouse?
here.
The fisherman
So
asked.
you have to wait a little bit because he's like, I'm so hungry, and like, dude, I got the fish right here. But you gotta wait a little bit for him to realize you have a fish for him.
There's my little amuse-bouche. Well, you'll have to feed me first. There must be food out here.
Oh, okay.
Nothing?
For a moment there, I thought I didn't progress the story, and I did. Okay. Right about a little bit more.
Some food.
There we go.
Chew on that.
While he's doing that, we're going to actually take care of the next part of the chapter. The next key is actually in there. So we took the smaller ladder and put it actually in here, and we'll be
Next?
the fish will give us a ride to get to the next key as
And
thanks.
also a fishbone.
Oops.
Oh,
First, we got to take out a fish bone. That
you had to climb inside them.
There we
No,
go.
there was the bone of contention.
now it'll give us a ride up to that key. So you can see the fish is pretty big here, but it's the same fish as up there because we got the model within the model.
Well, what could the puppet say to that?
Now,
He's
I
gonna give us
must
a ride.
repay you. The key to the tower door is outside.
Oh, actually, I have to trigger it by looking inside the mirror here quick.
A long time ago.
Outside?
I'm certain it was around here.
So now he should be able to give us a ride.
Climb on in. Welcome aboard Fish Flight 123. Please keep your arms inside the mouth at all times and no splinters, please.
One thing we can do with
Hold your seats.
this being with VR, if I,
There
the
was
VR game,
plenty
when you
of
set up a
leg
room size like I'm
room.
using
If you
HTC
left
Vive,
something
and
to be
the
desired,
grid basically
there
indicates
was
my
this thing
play
somewhere.
area, I can actually
Yes.
step forward and
Something
reach
similar.
past my play area, which I could take advantage of to go a little deeper than I normally would.
Here we are. Mind your step.
So, here,
At last, time to get back to the lighthouse.
that was close.
Thank you for helping me.
Almost dropped the key there.
Of course. You help
As far as I can tell, if you drop something
the lodges.
on the ground and you can't find it, after some time it's supposed to respawn where you got it from.
Juicier and more delectable. And so sweet and awesome. Thank you for
And
setting me
that's the
free.
end of chapter 2.
I hope you reach the top of the tower.
The door opened. The lighthouse tower waited. the fisherman had begun to
So
sing
the entire
the
run, the next chapter, there's 4 chapters plus prologue. The third chapter, I would say, is the trickiest, which is actually near the end of the chapter, which you'll see
Come
here
in,
in a little
trawler.
bit.
Come in, trawler. If you can hear us, return to port immediately. I repeat, return to port
Here's the next
immediately.
cutscene with the fisherman's son, the fisherman who's the father anymore. Here. So you can see here, father's out fishing, and unfortunately there's a storm. So kind of see what happened to the father. You kind of see more about the relationship here with the different dialogues here in this next chapter. So this chapter is about putting together the fishing boat.
This
model.
was where the fisherman had learned to make models, sitting at Papa's knee,
Right.
listening to Papa's
We got another
gruff,
piece out here.
scratchy voice telling him to try again, try again.
Now, what I'm going to do
Next time, get it right.
is I'm going to be picking up the model here and
When I'm not impressed.
going to have the model with me and put it together on the fly. Because normally you would take each piece and bring it down here.
The great fisherman.
But
It
instead,
was
we're going to bring it
talking,
with us and it'll save us a little time.
talking.
We got a battery, which we'll be using for a few different
My
things.
flesh and blood. You could have been as great a sailor as me, my father.
So we're taking advantage of that right there.
Papa,
Here's the next piece.
that you had lived to
Put
see
it right
this
there.
day.
And now
Papa,
we have 2
said
more
Papa,
pieces to get, but they're
I
out in
must
the
light
water
the
here.
lighthouse lamp.
Because
The
remember
ship
earlier
is
we
in
had
peril.
we had gotten flooded.
My own son, a mere lamplighter, a landlubber, nonsense. All you need is a boat and a strong net. Show your true sea dog and sail out there. Nearly there. Who am I kidding?
One thing, since we're not supposed to
Never
have it there,
finish anything.
we gotta occasionally click on it so that it doesn't disappear. Oh, excuse me. So it doesn't disappear on us.
Easy.
So you can see, I'm gonna go inside the model.
Carefully now.
Like I said, this is the trickiest part of the round, is getting these 2 pieces. One is a lot easier than the other, but I'm going to try to be as careful as I can, because if you miss on the first try, it makes it a bit harder. I need to go down a bit further. Slightly down more. Oh, you gotta go down. Oh, just missed it. This is the easier one of the 2. There we go. Got the first part. This is the easy one. Grab our model. Make sure it highlights.
Keep going,
There we go.
boy. I will make something of you yet.
So you can see this other one is the most tricky because you gotta grab it by the, I think that's the mast, right? And that's very, not much area that people pick that up in.
Your mother would be
Just a
sad
little
to
bit
see
here.
this day.
Just make very small movements.
Not me, of course. Was always a very supportive parent.
Not gonna say anything until I grab it.
Fishing there.
Excellent, there we go. That is the last hardest part of the game, is getting that last piece. If you play as casually, you would actually put this into there and lower it, but
Then we'll
that
see
takes time.
who's too big
So,
for his
wait for the dialogue to finish. Just throw it.
There. Allez, en avant toute.
We're gonna grab our battery. And one thing, I'd be careful. See, I'm kind of, there is collision detection, and you have to be really careful because you won't get stuck, but you might have items that get stuck if you're not careful.
Cast off. East by northeast. Full steam.
So now this part is easy. Sorry, I'll adjust it here. So just basically, at one point there's a little switch we gotta put on once, and a little bit later we're gonna put it back up. That's the almost the end of the chapter. There's one more part that requires to be as fast as you can. We do have a horn here if you want to pull it. You know, oh, here we go. Type 1 in chat if you want me to continuously press, pull on it. Because I can pull it for the next minute or so. Oops. Switch. So since I don't see chat, let me know if people are pressing one, then I'll pull on the horn. So I can steer the ship here, but it doesn't do anything.
In the art of the storm, this is where nature hides its beauties. They're waiting for us.
So we kind of transported into sort of real life, kind of reliving the son's father. I didn't really get to talk about it, but during the previous part, there was the father was like, there was tension between the father and son. The father wanted the son to be a fisherman, but the son didn't want to. His job was manning the lighthouse. What the puppet's trying to do is he's trying to get to the lighthouse because there's a storm coming. He wants to try to light the way, and so I think what the puppet's trying to do is trying to save his creator's father's life, even though this is in the past. So that's kind of the whole motivation of your puppet inside this game.
Don't forget, boy. Come back with a hold full of fish, or don't come back at all.
We are seeing we've got 3 ones in chat if that's enough for you. One of them was mine.
Sure, there isn't too much more time to this anyway, so I'll hold up. Yeah, I got some people to send this one. Thank you. Yep, that's it. So now our boat's crashed. Now we really got to get up to the top of the lighthouse here.
Yes.
So this is part that you want to try to go as fast as you can. You can either basically you're moving your arms back and forth. As soon as you see it light up, you pull up because you're going up the route up here. And I kind of go up back between, for those who know me, where you can tell I'm very tall, lots very big wingspan. And I think that might help a little bit. So you can go like this, or we can go slow, or not slow. You can do big, small ones like this too. We just gotta get high enough so that we can teleport into the top of the lighthouse, which actually could have been done sooner.
His obsession, that shadow which had
That's the
seemed
end of
so
the
large once upon a time.
third chapter. This is the last chapter. This one is, if you know the puzzle, is
Outside,
not so easy. It's more about execution.
it seems the rules of the replica had been a match. Now something to strike it on.
So like I mentioned, there's collision detection, which for this particular chapter can be very annoying if you're not careful.
I love that sound.
So this is the part where we light up the lighthouse. And there's 3 levels where we light the lighthouse. A little too far there, I think. There you go.
The 3 lamps were lit, but there
So
was
that's the
nowhere
first
near
layer.
enough light.
Now we go
Perhaps
down a layer.
his little friends inside the model could help out.
Sorry about that. in the epilogue. And we're going to be about 30, well, I'd say another 30 seconds or so.
All this time, I'm in here.
But yeah, you're in the real world now, and you're inside the inside the A Fisherman's Tale.
I see.
It's a really fun. It's a short puzzle game. It's really showcases, you know. So, what part did people miss?
Hi everyone! So we had some stream issues
Alright.
with the last little chapter of this game. What we're going to do is, because Bahamut is so good at this game and came in so far under estimate, is we're actually going to let him go through and play out the last chapter for you all, so that you can see the end of this game properly. So thank you all for being super duper understanding as we've had different tech issues and everything. We absolutely appreciate it in a marathon like this. And like I said, since we had a little extra time, we figured we would go make this right and let you all see the ending properly. So I'm going to turn it back over to Bahamut and to Madeline, and please enjoy.
All right, I guess we're back. So sorry again for the difficulties. So, Adeline, if you're ready, should I go ahead and start the last chapter?
Go for it.
All right, so since I've done the game, you don't have to worry about a timer. I'm just going to start. So this is the last chapter. We're actually up above the house, which was the whole goal of your little puppet, was to, you know, man and light the lighthouse to, you know, try to save people out in the storm. And the puzzle here isn't difficult. But it's tricky to execute because I mentioned earlier in the run that there are collision detection, and if you're not careful, especially you can't see the item. Here, actually, I don't. Okay, we're good. I think for this one. Yes, there we go. All right. So, like I said, it's more about execution because just see that. There we go. Come on. There we go. Because we're kind of a small space. So if we're not careful, you might the match might go into the wall and it'll drop, but that means you just have to wait for it to respawn, which takes a little bit of time. And so the purpose of this chapter is to light all the little lights here, and there's actually 3 levels we have to light. And because we're really taking the model within a model within a model mechanic here. So we got the first level. Now we gotta put in the lower one because we got 3. See the little puppet inside here? We're gonna light the next 3, which I can't. If I'm gonna look at it, I'm just gonna. It's like right here, right? Hold on. Oh, it did light. All right. Because puppet's in there with the match, but we're gonna do it out here. And now we got one more.
Yes.
Now we have one more to do.
Level down.
So now we're going to put it down one more level. And there we go.
Et voilà. Let there be light. Farewell, mon fils.
And that's lighting the lighthouse.
I can rest now, knowing my obsession did not drag you down with me.
Goodbye, little morsels.
Bon voyage, shipmate.
So now the puppet has fulfilled his quest, and we are going to be transported to the actual real world, where actually we are the puppet inside the actual model, with the lighthouse keeper asleep on the chair. Just like we started that prologue, we had the little model of the lighthouse keeper in the chair, and we see him there sleeping. We have this little light up. Wake him up!
Mon Dieu, was that beard, that face? He was awake. Hey, the puppet cried. I'm in here. I've been in here all this time. I'm in here.
And this is the epilogue. And so if we were still on a timer, time would be as soon as I open the door.
What time is it?
And that is the end of Fisherman's Tale.
I think
I hope you all enjoyed it. I had really a fun time showing this off. This is a fun game. It really helps, I think, shows the possibilities of, not just VR speedrunning. When I first played this game, I was just playing it casually because I was doing some different games, and I thought, I did the first playthrough, and like, this is really fun. I want to freaking speedrun it. And so I just kind of started doing it, and it's been really fun. And
How long has it been?
yeah, thanks for letting me show this game.
No matter.
So
Who
yeah.
calls a